What's up? What's up? Back in the studio. I know it's been a while, but you know I'm going to give you quality videos. This is Prime Sports Media, everybody. I hope you're doing fine. I want to do a recap. This is going to be a great recap for you on what happened at the showcase. The showcase was off the chain. Everybody was there from the NFL. All scouts were on hand. The players were doing their thing. Will Sheppard, Jimmy Horn Jr. I got to say, Jimmy once again showed why I think he's going to sneak himself in the higher rounds to be drafted, okay? Wester showed up. Everybody was there. BJ Green showed up. Shilo Sanders showed us that he's got what it takes. And, of course, Shedeur Sanders did his thing. Everybody that was there from Shadozi, everybody that was there. I think Bentley was there. He did his damn thing, the linebacker. Everybody was there showing what they can do at this showcase, this pro day at Colorado. I want to go over a few highlights, and I can't stop. I can't go on without saying this. I can't stop what I'm saying without saying this. Well, I can stop what I'm saying, but I'm going to say this to you all. Travis Hunter. Even though Travis didn't do a lot of the he didn't do a lot of the activities, he definitely showed his skill set, helping out Shedeur, running his little routes, making things happen. I'm going to show you footage from Steve Smith, who is a NFL legend himself, who definitely had a few things to say about Travis Hunter. Let's figure out where this all goes. I think all these guys are going to go high, meaning they're going to have great draft possibility. And even if some of these guys are only going to be unrestricted free agents, I think that they've done well for themselves, and they have moved their stock right on up to a deluxe department in the sky high. This is going to be incredible. Let's go on with this. I want to make this statement right here about this whole situation when we talk about a pro day, okay? And it was a pro day. I mean, you had the Big 12 pro day, but this was a showcase, and it was something for the ages, everybody. Coach Prime was in rare form. He shows you that he has his players back. How many of you out there, by putting comments in the comment section of this video, witnessed the video where Coach Prime had to tell the players? There was a scout, I believe, from Denver that was trying to show these guys something about how to do the 40. Coach Prime came over and said, nah. Y'all do y'all thing. You do what got you here. Do your thing. Coach Prime has his players back, okay? Another thing that's exciting about Coach Prime, as I put him up here right now, everybody, is that we know that he has inked a 5-year deal. What is it, $45 to $50 million, somewhere in there. And that means that there's stability. He's going to be in the program for the time to come. This is also important, everybody, because it's going to help stabilize recruitment. Right now, they're still looking to get a recruit for the 2026 class. It's going to happen. Let's all be patient about that. But one of the things that we know is that Coach Prime is going to be in Colorado. He's staying put. He's focused. And that's helping recruitment, because a lot of kids who may not have wanted to go to CU because they may be thinking that, oh, Coach Prime's going to be gone to the NFL. Never fear. Coach Prime still remains here. It's going to be exciting upcoming season. Another thing I want to say before I get into the meat and sauce of this video today is that I think this team is going to be a beast. Some of these young players are now getting their chance to be stars, and what you're seeing in the spring practices and the potential. And I'm going to be doing a video about these guys that I think are key guys to look out for during the season that comes up. I'm saying to you, I think the team could be better than last year's team. I think some of their parts may be better, and we'll see what happens. Let's get into the meat and sauce of this video. So now I want to get into this area right here. I want to talk about Shedeur. And Shedeur, as you know, has been getting a lot of hate from the haters. I'm going to put this back up here like so, right over the top of me. He's been getting a lot of hate from the haters right now. Here is one evaluation of Shedeur Sanders. The knack on Shedeur Sanders is that, oh, he doesn't have a strong enough arm. Well, I think in this showcase, he showed you that he does have a strong arm. It says his arm strength has been described by lead evaluators as good but not great. They will surely be concerned for teams that deal with more windy conditions late in the season. Now, I think Shedeur put to rest this BS. This is more of the manufactured hate against him because of who his father is, right? And I think in this workout, he showed that he could whip that ball down the field. He showed he had a great deep ball. He could hit the intermediate areas. I think everybody, the receivers from Travis Hunter to Wester to Jimmy Horn Jr., I think they all did a great job with Sheppard and showing that Shedeur can throw the deep ball, the intermediate. He can do it all. And you could tell that they really did a great job in the way they created their drills. And Shedeur was whipping that ball. You didn't see a lot of people dropping balls. It was fantastic. And one of the things that people notice is that the claps at their pro day or at the showcase was louder than most. Okay, you had everybody there. You know that the scouts have to go back to the drawing board and reevaluate where they see Shedeur going in this draft. And let me say this too, even if Shedeur falls to the late rounds, I've said this before, I'd rather see him go in the late round so that he goes to a better team. Listen to my logic. If he goes in the upper rounds, he's going to a bad team with maybe bad coaching, bad defense, a bad situation. You go to a team that drafts later in the round, you may be going to a more quality program, a more quality franchise, where now your opportunity to be in the playoffs, to play at an earlier stage in your career because you got better talent around you and they're ready for you to take the reins versus going to a garbage team that's horrible, that throws you out there and you ain't got nobody around you. We want Shedeur to be successful. So just keep those things in mind. Now, let's go into here. He was in rare form, as I said before, at the showcase. Here he is with Wester. Here he is whipping the ball around again. And then guess who he was whipping the ball around to, everybody? He was whipping the ball around to Travis Hunter, everybody. Here's Travis Hunter again doing his thing. And I want to start with Travis Hunter because Travis Hunter was a part of the trio of receivers that made Shedeur look good, but they also made themselves look good. As I said before, Travis Hunter didn't go through most of the drills. He didn't run a 40 time. And this is my thing. I really want to see and would like to see what his 40 time is, right? And hopefully we'll get that information when he has his personal workouts with those teams that come a-calling, okay? Let's get back to this again. So this is what Steve Smith had to say about Travis Hunter. He's very impressed with Travis Hunter, but in his point of view, he feels that Travis Hunter, everybody, that Travis Hunter should play and decide to play mainly receiver. His whole thing is that you shouldn't be a jack of all trades, but a master of nothing. I disagree with Steve Smith. I think that Travis Hunter is a different man and can do it because he is that man. So let's go ahead and let you see what Steve Smith had to say about this situation. It's very interesting what he had to say. And here we go, everybody.
Hunter not doing anything today. Wasn't going to work out. This morning, Steve, things changed. Going to be running routes. What do we want to see from Travis Hunter today?
Running routes, I believe, is going to be excellent. Just to see his explosiveness. He's not running a 40. He's one of the very few blue chips in this draft. So why do you have to do anything when they already know what you can do? You have enough film.
Now, this is a good point right here. There's already enough film on Travis Hunter. People know what he can do. He's won the Heisman Trophy. There's no other player in the country in college football the last few years at the big level that was doing what Travis Hunter was doing, both playing receiver and defensive back. Let's hear the rest of this.
See the progression from Jackson State to Colorado, and he's done a great job. He's improved as a corner, but seeing what he can do as a wide receiver with the other wide receivers in the competition. I was told Shedeur probably throw about 60 passes. They're going to hit it early, so that'd be good. Get some guys in some reps. Seeing this big festive event to get guys.
It's a showcase.
It's a showcase.
All right, everybody. All right. It's a showcase, and it was a hell of a showcase, everybody. Let me just say this. I think that Travis Hunter is unique in the skill set and the things that he's able to do. I think that nobody, and I mean absolutely nobody, should underestimate the ability of a Travis Hunter at the next level. Once again, Travis Hunter, you know, it depends on the team that he goes to, whether it be Tennessee, will it be the Browns, will it be the Giants. I think if he's in the right situation, being utilized the right way, he will have success. My concern is some of these really bad teams that pick guys in the first round. Sometimes you have situations where you have coaches and a staff that really don't know how to utilize your talents. Hopefully, with his raw talent, he can overcome the deficits of the coaches and the staff that may not know what they're doing, if that becomes the case, because Cleveland has a history of drafting a lot of good players, but never knowing really how to use them. Okay, Tennessee has had their issues. Travis Hunter is another one of those guys that if he was to go to a team that was able to get their hands on him in the lower rounds, he would be going to a better team that he really could shine in in their system. However, because he is, as you heard Steve Smith say, a blue chip in this draft coming up, that means that he's going to be off the board as fast as you can holler Jimmy Crack Corn, everybody. So let me now show you another clip of Travis Hunter, and Steve Smith is going to give his raw opinion about how he should really be utilized in the NFL. Here we go.
The feet, deep over. He's good. One thing I would say is when he was sitting down, he put his hands backwards to indicate to the defender that he was going to break down. So I need him to keep both his hands moving. But he'll learn that as he hones in on his craft more and more in the league, he'll be fine. That's why he most likely will have to play one position primarily so he can master his craft. Because you never want to be a jack of all trades and master of none.
Now, I'm sorry, Steve Smith, I loved you. You were a great player when you were playing out there with the Panthers in the NFL. You're a great talent, my man. But I disagree with you, because the reason why I believe Travis Hunter can play both defense and offense in the NFL and be that jack of all trades, because nobody's done it like him. No other player in the history of the game, in the modern game. Okay, of course, you had Jim Thorpe, you had players like that back in the day that played both sides, but nobody's done it the way he's done it at college in the modern game or in the pros at the way that he has these gifts and ability. And another thing I want to say here, remember Coach Prime said this, that in the NFL, they take huddles. They huddle a lot. They take a lot of timeouts. Coaches are pressing to get the right plays in. Quarterbacks are audibling. So he would be able to probably get away with playing both sides of the ball, because the college game is different. They spread you out. It's high tempo. You don't hardly see college teams taking huddles and huddling to call their plays. A lot of times the coaches are calling the plays from the sideline, and quarterbacks are looking to the sidelines where they've got cards and all kind of signals to call in the plays. So I think the pace of the college game in comparison to the NFL game, I think, is more tailored, other than the physicality of it, because you do have a lot of injuries, for Travis Hunter to be successful at playing both sides of the ball. This is where I disagree with my man, Steve Smith. How do you all feel about that? I feel that Travis Hunter has what it takes. And let's show another clip of Travis Hunter running his routes, working hard to also help his man, Shedeur Sanders, to show what he can do to the scouts. Check this out.
Information is power.
That's right. Information is power. And that's what we're trying to do, provide information here. As you can see, Travis Hunter's running his routes, looking good. I think he's the full package, and I think he's actually upped himself for the draft as well. Not to mention the personal workouts. Be on the lookout for those personal workouts where they're going to ask him to run maybe the 40 and do more in-depth things. But I think it's all good. Now, let's get into Shedeur Sanders, who I think is, in my opinion, the best quarterback in this draft coming up. People talking about Cam Ward has a stronger arm. But this is the thing. Shedeur Sanders showed that he has a strong arm and that he can get the ball down the field deep in this particular class of quarterbacks, okay? Another thing that people need to not sleep on when it comes to Shedeur is his toughness, his nerve, and his sinew. The man is very tough. Not too many quarterbacks can go through what he went through, not having a great offensive line his first year there, taking those hits and still getting up and playing and not complaining, okay? In the NFL, you're going to take hard hits. You're going to have more physicality. You're going to have defensive linemen coming at you. You have to have a quarterback that can handle the pressure, handle the hits, still get up, lead his teammates, lead the team by example. Those are the tangibles that Shedeur has. You may say, oh, he doesn't have a strong arm. Maybe people think that Cam Ward is more athletic. But what Cam Ward lacks, in my opinion, is the extra ingredient that makes an NFL quarterback great, which is thinking from your head down. Shedeur said he wants to think from the head above his shoulder pads mentally. Let me just give you an example. Joe Montana didn't have the strongest arm, right? Tom Brady won, 7 Super Bowls? But guess what? Tom Brady didn't have the strongest arm either. What separates him, like Montana and Brady, from the other quarterbacks in the NFL is that they could think the game through. They made better decisions. Quarterbacking is about decision making. If Shedeur makes better decisions and learns to improve getting rid of the ball quicker, telling you, sky's the limit. Let me let you see what he did here in the workouts here. Check this out.
You ready?
You see that? That looks good. Shedeur is showing you that he can get the ball down the field. Here we go.
You come here. Yeah, one stop from our side.
Now that's LeJontay Wester who's hugging him right here. Wester, I think, has also moved his draft stock up. I'm going to be talking about the 40 times, recapping the 40 times that everybody got. But I think these guys are good. Okay, I think these guys have improved. Wester, you see him right here with the full uniform on. Wester, to me, is another guy like Jimmy Horn that I think his stock is going to rise up. You're going to see he was at the Combine, remember? He got invited to the NFL Combine, and he showed what he could do. Remember that? Running his 40 time. I think he ran like, a 4.49 and 4.47, something like that at the Combine. I think that this young man right here has a great future ahead of him at the NFL level. He says he humbled himself. He says, hey, I'll play special teams. I'll do whatever teams want me to do, but I want to be in there. So I think he's going to be great for the game of NFL football. And you saw Shedeur get a hell of a throw to him down the field. Let me show you another one that I like. As you can see, that was to Travis Hunter, showing his skill set, showing that skill set again of what he can do. See? That was the catch right there, y'all. That was the catch. That was the catch. Let's go at it again.
You got it.
All right, that's it.
Tell the truth.
All right. Now, here's another clip I want to show you. He did his thing. He did his thing, y'all.
Okay, well.
Now, that was the one and only, everybody. That's the one and only, the man himself. That was Will Sheppard. I believe that was either Will Sheppard or Jimmy Horn that caught that ball. I believe it was Will Sheppard, who you see right here. He ran a 40 time. I'm going to go over his 40 time, what he put up and what have you, throwing that ball. I think that was either Jimmy Horn or Will Sheppard, but either way, very talented receivers, as we already know that CU has. And this upcoming class they've got planned for this upcoming season, they're going to be dynamic as well. Let's go to the next clip that I want to show you. And here is another fantastic clip right here. Check this out.
Launching that bitch late.
There is Will Sheppard right there. I think he's going to get ready to throw the ball to Will Sheppard right here, and I want to talk about Will Sheppard in just a moment. But let's let it be seen.
I think it was at the end trying to stop us.
All right, y'all. All right. All right. There we have it. Now, let's go for this one right here. This is the interesting one right here. Here's Shedeur at it again. Here we go.
He is so smooth.
Boom. I want to stop it right there. I want to roll that back a little bit. That's our man, Will Sheppard. Here we go. Boom. What I want to say about Will Sheppard, everybody, is I'm very impressed with him. Okay. He's was a great addition to the team. Here he is right here. A great addition to the football team. Here he is right there running his 40 time. Let me give you his 40 time breakdown. Right now, Will Sheppard ran a 4.56 his first go around in this showcase. Then he came back around and ran a 4.54. What I see this man as being at the NFL level is I see Will Sheppard as I believe he came over from Vanderbilt University, came out of the SEC. I believe he is going to be great as a possession receiver at the next level. I'm talking about Will Sheppard. I think as a possession receiver, I think he'll be very effective as a possession receiver because of his size. Right? This man is 6'3". Let me give you some stats on him and everything like that right here, everybody. So let me do this. Will Sheppard, who put on NFL scouts, right? He put NFL scouts on notice. Okay, coaches noticed that his ability. He began the day with a 4.5-inch vertical. Okay, Will Sheppard was snubbed and did not get an invitation, if you all remember, from the NFL Combine, but he definitely raised the ears and the excitement of the NFL scouts, okay, in his debut. Check this out. His vertical, he would have clocked in as third best among receivers in the Indianapolis. So if he had been in Indianapolis, based on his vertical jump, was one of the best with a 10.11 broad jump and a 5.54 second 40 dash. He's 6'3", 210-pound receiver. He raised eyebrows, and I think when you look at him, he's a guy in the NFL that'll be a great possession receiver where you can get him catching short yardage passes. You get him down in the goal line where you get the ball to him in the end zone.
Tell the truth.
You get the ball to him in tough situations where you need a big, strong, tall receiver to make those tight catches in traffic. I think he would be a great addition. And this is what I want to show you. This is what I want to show you all. Let's check this out right now. This is the vertical jump that had everybody excited at the showcase. All right, everybody. So you saw that. Everybody was excited about what Will Sheppard did in his vertical. He was fantastic. Let's get back to some more talented players that we have on this team. So what I want to do now, because this whole situation at the showcase I thought was exciting. Everybody showed up. Everybody showed out. The scouts there were impressed, as I said before. The players were on point with catching the ball, running their drills, the whole 9 yards. It was fantastic, everybody. But let me show you some more of what Shedeur did in his passing drills here.
That's smooth, Will.
Okay. Now, who you see on the screen right there is my man. I said it before. This is Wester, who I think has a place at the next level. Nobody can deny this man. Matter of fact, let's go ahead and tell you what his stats were at this particular showcase. Let me see what his stats were. What did he do? let's see. What did he do? Now, LeJontay Wester ran the first time 4.53. And the second time he ran, it was a 4.50. You know what? He actually ran a better 40 time at the NFL Combine. I think he ran like a 4.47 and a 4.49, somewhere in there. I think he ran a lot better. He put up some better times at the Combine. Okay. You know, running is interesting because sometimes guys run and they put up big numbers. Sometimes some guys run better when they do their pro day. Maybe he can also have a private workout and put up even better numbers. Anything is possible. But we know this man can move, that he's got speed and what have you. So let's keep that in mind. Another thing I want to put up here is Shedeur Sanders again, because I want to break down what some of the scouts were saying about him. Now, on this day in the recap, Shedeur Sanders capped off the pro day festivities by throwing to his receivers in front of NFL scouts. He showcased his ability to put zip on the ball in his short and medium range passes. And he put great touch and airtime on long balls. Sanders and his receivers had great chemistry during the scripted passing portion with only a handful of incompletions, y'all. The highlights of the passing portion was a 60-yard TD pass from Shedeur Sanders to Jimmy Horn. Let's put Jimmy Horn up here right now because this young man is so damn dynamic. Okay? And I'm going to give up what his 40 time is, but check this out. Check this out. They're talking about how Shedeur had great chemistry with Jimmy Horn, his receivers, resulting in Horn doing a standing and backflip in the end zone. We saw that. It was fantastic. Jimmy Horn was running that damn 40 time and did what he necessarily needed to do. Young man has skills, has been blessed with skills. I'm very excited about what he's going to do at the next level, y'all. But with that said, everybody, let me go ahead and do this. Let's go ahead and let's do this. Let me let you hear what Shedeur Sanders had to say when he was asked this particular question about a potential spot that he may go. Now, this is the rumor, everybody. The Saints. Could it be that Shedeur Sanders could possibly don the black and ogo of the New Orleans, Louisiana Saints? They asked Coach Prime about this, but they also talked to Shedeur. That's if he drops out of that early first round. Could the Saints be doing something behind the scenes to get their hands on him? We'll have to see. But we'll have to see. We just definitely have to see what the deal is. And let's hear Shedeur right here, everybody. Here we go.
Hey, Shedeur, you talked about the situation being important for you for where you go in the draft. How would you say your traits would fit into like a Kellen Moore offense where he's coached quarterbacks like Dak Prescott, Justin Herbert, and recently Jalen Hurts? And
I think he's a great coach, and I also think I watched him a little bit in college. You know, so we're so young. Like I didn't know that was that. So I know that's who he was in college. But then when I looked him up and did the research and all that, I'm like, dang, like he did everything I'm trying to accomplish. And like, so
Right. And check this out, Shedeur. You're going to accomplish more than him. He wasn't able to take it that level of play to the pro level, but he ended up coaching. But you, my brother, are definitely going to take it to that next level. And I think you're going to be successful wherever you go. I just like to see you go to a team that has some talent around. They'll have talent around you, a good offensive line, good coaching, and everything like that. You know, it'd be a good fit for Shedeur is if he was playing in Denver for someone like Sean Payton. Of course, they got Bo Nix there, but check this out. He had a conversation with Sean Payton, who was there, and Sean Payton has come to their facilities many times in Colorado. That he's very aware of Shedeur. I can make an argument that if Denver needed a quarterback and they were drafting early in the rounds, I bet you Sean Payton would be trying to draft Shedeur Sanders. Check out. They had a little bit of a conversation. They were fraternizing a little bit. Check this out.
You guys just finished
You're going to Florida to play somebody.
We just stopped by here.
Yeah.
I remember that.
You doing good?
Yeah, everything good.
Good workout. Good workout.
All right. Sean Payton says it's a good workout. Good workout. He was impressed. Sean Payton, remember, this is the connection. He used to coach with the New Orleans Saints before going to Denver, taking some time off. And there's a connection there. And he said it was a good workout. This is a man who's been in the NFL for a long time, won a Super Bowl with the Saints, knows what he's talking about. He's trying to rebuild what they're doing with Denver, the Denver Broncos. And he told Shedeur, great workout. Now, let's get back to the rest of what Shedeur was saying when he was asked that question about the idea of playing with the New Orleans Saints. Let's get back to it right now.
He knows the recipe, and a lot of people that play the position understand, that point of view versus just a different point of view versus like the sky or the sideline.
All right. So Shedeur is definitely telling it like it is. Now, Coach Prime was asked a similar question about the possibility. Let's see what Coach Prime was saying about this as well. Check it out.
Possibility of Shedeur being coached by Kellen Moore, who's coached Dak Prescott, Justin Herbert, and recently.
Say it again.
Speak to the possibility of Shedeur being
Where's
coached.
that? The what?
Yes, sir.
The Saints?
Yes, sir.
I like the colors. I like the colors. I like the city. I like the food. I like the people. I like the possibility.
Tell the truth.
All right, there we go. Coach Prime says he likes the food, he likes the people, he likes the possibility. So we're going to see if this is going to be a possibility, everybody. But look, like I said, wherever they go, I think most of the players with Colorado are going to be successful. Even the guys, if they don't get drafted, but they get picked up as an unrestricted free agent, I think big things is going to happen for them. Right now, I want to talk about Jimmy Horn for a minute. Here's some pictures of Jimmy Horn. I feel Jimmy Horn is the man, like what he does. I think he's the guy that will get drafted high. He's got a strong body, very gifted as a young receiver. I think he go to the right team. They polish up his skills a little bit more for the pro level. I think sky's the limit for Jimmy Horn Jr. and what he can do. Let's put him up here again. He ran a 40, and let me let you know what some of the information is on this young man right here. Some of the excitement around Jimmy Horn Jr. Okay, he's seen as a speedster. He managed to shovel a 0.06. His 40-yard dash time from the NFL combines it went from 4.46 in Indy to a 4.40. He ran a 4.40 at Colorado at the showcase. That was fantastic. I want to put up some more about him right here. Jimmy Horn doing his thing. This is very important what he did. So at the combine, he ran a 4.46. And then he turned around at the showcase and ran a 4.40. Okay. Horn finally has a 40 time that he can be happy with. This is what was reported. He measured the proper showcase, his elite speed. He was able to properly showcase his elite speed and acceleration going downhill. Now, what I want to do, everybody, is I want to show you that elite speed that he had going down the fields of Colorado in that showcase, in that workout gym that they had, in that indoor football facility that they have. Let me let you see it right now. Check this out. Here we go. Let's let that happen again. So he did it. He now has a 4.40. That's fantastic. What is that going to do for Jimmy Horn Jr.? Obviously, it's going to raise his draft stock up a lot higher.
Tell the
Now
truth.
you're going to see teams deciding whether they would take him in. Hell, he could go in the high second round. Whatever it is, I don't think Jimmy Horn Jr. is going to be on the board. I would be shocked if he was to fall into the third round, the fourth round, fifth. And I would be even more shocked if he ends up as a free agent. It ain't going to happen. He's putting up good numbers. He's got great speed, great skills. And you got too many teams in the NFL that are looking for guys like Jimmy Horn Jr. that can break the lid off the top, that have that speed, that other gear, that can get behind a defensive back at the NFL level. So Jimmy Horn, if he goes to the right team again, develops his craft, I'd say sky's the limit. Look, I'm a 49er fan too. I would love my 49ers to get Jimmy Horn Jr. because, damn it, we need receivers with speed. We got a lot of possession receivers. We need a guy that can break the top off the lead. So that's what I got to say about this man right here, Jimmy Horn Jr. Yeah. That's right.
Tell the truth. Tell the truth.
Now, let me do this, everybody. Let's go into the next one. Once again, I'm going to say it again. This young man right here has put up some very good numbers at the NFL Combine. He was out there doing his thing, making good catches. Wester is going to be another one that you cannot be in denial of. Now, let me put this individual up right here. Now, this is Cameron Seaman Craig, okay? Now, he's going to definitely be someone that if he gets picked up as a unrestricted free agent, he's going to have to bust his ass and work hard to get the opportunity that he deserves to make a football team at the NFL level. And I think he damn well can. Let me talk about some of his notables here. Some of his, let me see, he did something. And I want to say this to everybody. Craig, I think, ran better at the combine. No, he ran a 4.65 in his first run at the showcase. Then he ran a 4.79. A 4.79 is not the greatest 40 number. And when you're playing safety, they do look for safeties, guys that can move around in that outside of that, out there on that island. So Craig is really going to have to battle to make a football team. I think he can. He's going to have to use his abilities, his natural abilities, but he's going to have to use his instincts to overcome whatever he doesn't have physically with his skills when it comes to his speed, right? But can he hit? Can he tackle? Does he have an instinct for the game? I think Craig has that instinct for the game. And I think if given a chance, he will make a team. Coach Prime already said, when you put him on a team, it's hard to get rid of this man, okay? Now, let's go over here to a man I want to talk about, and that's BJ Green, y'all. Let's give him a clap. Now, BJ Green is the man, okay? He is the man. He's the leading sack leader for Colorado, an edge rusher, doing his thing. Now, when it came to his 40 time, I think he ran the same 40 time as he did at the NFL Combine. He ran basically the same 40 time, 4.7. He was consistent. And I want you to see, once again at the showcase, him running his 40. I think it was fantastic, showing you that he has the speed. He might be one of the fastest defensive edge rushers in this draft this year, because I don't think anyone recorded a 4.7 like he did. But let's check this out. Watch him run again. All right. Boom. He did his thing. He showed up and he showed out. So let's give him a clap there. Also, Bentley, linebacker Bentley, he showed up for the combine, did his thing. We got Shane Cooks. He showed up, did his thing. Okay. Another young man that was there was the offensive lineman, Thomas. Okay. Carden Thomas was there. I think he's an offensive guard of some sort. He was there. He did his thing, showed up. Let me do some more honorable mentions. We had Herman Smith III, safety. He showed up to do his thing at the combine, the showcase, should I say. And then Travis J. He showed up, showed what he could do, showed his thing, did his thing. Let's give him a clap. Let me talk about Shedeur, who is a defensive tackle. As you know, look, Shedeur has a skill set, y'all. Let me tell you what they said. Starting the day out by hitting 30 reps. Shedeur is strong, y'all. He hit 30 reps on the bench press, which would have been tied for best amongst defensive linemen at the NFL Combine. Why wasn't he not invited to this show? Damn it. Part of being a defensive lineman, especially an interior defensive lineman at the NFL, you got to be able to bench press and have strength and leverage.
Tell the truth.
Shedeur was not invited to the NFL Combine, but yet he puts up numbers that was just as good as everybody that they invited to the Combine. This is crazy. This is crazy. The man had 30 reps on the bench press, which would have been tied for best amongst defensive linemen at the NFL Combine. Showcased elite strength. He showcased elite strength, but one of the things that NFL scouts are concerned about Shedeur is that he has his small size. He's a small size for a nose tackle, something that can work against him. That's what some of the NFL scouts were concerned about when it came to Shedeur. So I just want to lay that out. I think if he gets stronger, he gets with the right team, the right system, I think he can be effective. You've had guys in the NFL playing nose guard or playing defensive tackle who were a little bit shorter in size, but they were strong in their heart and sinew. So never count the brother out. Now, let me do this. Let's talk about Shilo Sanders. Okay? Shilo Sanders finally got a chance to work out in front of NFL scouts. Had a very solid showing. Hopefully that he would cross the 440 second barrier for a 40-yard dash, but this wasn't meant to be. He clocked in at 54.52. Not true. Everybody thinks that Shilo Sanders only ran a 4.52 or 4.59 or 4.52. I'm going to show you the video where the folks that were there were saying that that was incorrect. He actually ran, out of all the times that he ran a 4.45. If y'all don't believe me, I'm going to play the video clip so that you can hear and see what I'm talking about. Here we go, everybody. Check this out. He ran, actually, I think he ran people thought it was a 4.52. The guy was reading the clock, said no, 4.45. I think he's actually helped himself. A guy that was not invited to the Combine, a guy that had a very good showing. Let me let you see.
What's he at?
4.5. 4.45. 4.45.
Okay.
Tell the truth.
You had one person that said it was a 4.5. The other guy that was right next to him said no, 4.45. So the truth of the matter is that Shilo Sanders ran a faster 40 time than most people thought he could, and he surprised himself.
Tell the truth.
Let me also put up here, I want to put up here, what was the other time he had? So people thought that he ran a 4.52, but it was actually a 4.45. Then the second time he ran, I was right. He ran a 4.59. Second time was a lot slower.
Tell the truth.
Okay. But what it shows you is that he has the ability, he has enough speed to be able to play in that secondary as a safety, to roam around, causing havoc. His strengths is his tangibles, which is his heart, his nerve, his sinew, his toughness, and his tackling ability. This is the thing that he's going to have to work on. A lot of times during the college season, he would bump tackle. And I would always say, Shilo, wrap him up, man. Please wrap him up. At the NFL level, he's going to have to wrap people up because he's going to be going against guys that are bigger, stronger, and even faster. These are just the facts, everybody. Now, And
Tell the
but he
truth.
had a great showing at the combine. It cannot be denied. I think he raised some eyebrows there. We'll see where Shilo Sanders goes in this draft. Okay, he had an outstanding day. He really lit it up in the way he handled himself, reported himself. It was fantastic. Let's give Shilo Sanders another clap.
Tell the truth.
I think it was fantastic, and he really showed that he enjoyed the game. He enjoys the game of football, and it was fantastic. Let me also give some respect to my man Justin Mayers, offensive lineman, who went out there and did what he had to do. Let me break down some of the bench press for some of these guys. Remember, let's see this right here. Guess what? Justin Mayers had 28 reps, right? I already told you that Shedeur had 30 reps, right? Thomas, who I talked about, the offensive lineman Thomas, number 60 here, he had 26 reps. This is on the bench press, right? Shane Coke, what did he have? He had 29 reps. That's pretty damn good. BJ Green did not do any reps in this situation. Let's talk about right here, everybody, the vertical jump. Woo! My man right here, Sheppard. Will Sheppard had a 40.5-inch vertical jump. That's where everybody went buck wow. There it is. They went buck wild over this man's 40 time. Jay, my man Travis J had a 33-inch vertical jump. Cameron Seaman Craig had a 30.5-inch vertical jump. Bentley, linebacker, the brother had a 30.5-inch vertical. Fantastic. Let's go over to right here. Cokes, 30-inch. This is the one, the vertical. Cokes had 30. Shane Cokes had 30-inch. BJ Green, again, with the vertical jump, had a 31.5. Mayers, the offensive lineman, had 32-inch vertical. My man Thomas had a 25-inch vertical jump. And then we have Shedeur, who came in with a 28-inch vertical jump. That's pretty interesting stuff, everybody. Now, let's go to the broad jump where Jimmy Horn, Sheppard again comes in doing some pretty good stuff. Sheppard had a 10.11 broad jump, right? Then we got my man Jimmy Horn, who comes in at 10.8, okay, broad jump. Then you got, again, Travis J, who comes in with a 10.1. Justin Myers with a 9.1 broad jump. Shedeur comes in with a 8.6 broad jump. And believe it or not, Shilo had to show what he could do too. And Shilo came in on this day in question of the showcase and put up a 9.5 broad jump. Seaman Craig, my man Craig Cameron, came in and put in a 9.8 broad jump. And that was pretty good stuff. It was pretty good stuff, everybody. I really enjoyed doing this recap with you all. I hope that you enjoyed this recap of the showcase, the pro day at Colorado. I think all these guys involved have upped their stock. I think the NFL scouts were very shocked and very impressed by what they saw. You're going to see some of these guys who may not have gotten drafted on draft day maybe get drafted, the ones that were not invited to the NFL Combine. I think NFL scouts got to look at their numbers, their intangibles, their skill sets, and they've written it down, they've documented it, and you'll see how do these guys fall on their draft board. Where do some of these players fall in their draft board? And if not their draft board, their unrestricted free agent board, because every NFL team has a board or a breakdown of who they want to go for in free agency when these guys, some of these guys don't get drafted. And what's great about that is that when you're an unrestricted free agent, you can literally have your agent pick a team that needs you, but a team that fits your skill set. So I think this is fantastic. I'm looking forward to seeing how the season, how everything pans out. We're talking about NFL football. This is what it is, baby. And I'm also looking forward to the upcoming season because I think the youngsters that are on this team for CU are going to be dynamic, fantastic, and may even be better. With that said, this is Prime Sports Media, y'all. Thank you. Peace.